hitting record before we loudly slurp coffee. Yeah, this is how we do. So the skeleton ran out of shampoo in the shower. The human torch was denied a bank loan. Okay. Ever since I saw Anchorman, that's how I test the microphones now. But yeah, no sunglasses today because I just think it would be a little dishonest making a video about confidence when I'm hiding from the scary camera and wearing sunglasses. You know, just gonna have to deal today. Maybe the glare will help me. But this, I got a comment from a person named, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, Ninja Trollet 8642. Feel free to correct me if I screwed that up. But said something really interesting. Where is it? Okay, here it is. I'm of a similar age. It was a comment on my first video. I'm of a similar age when you started and want to get into art, but still working up the courage. And I hear that a lot, even from myself. And I thought, what a cool idea for a video because that's something that holds artists back. A lot of them, that I've seen. It's a question I keep getting. And that's, I guess, a sign of knowing that you're getting better or getting good at something is when people start asking you stuff. Because I'm over here saying, man, I've only been painting for like 4 years, and what the hell do I know? Now I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, but my people connect with my artwork, so I guess I know something. But I mean, this comment that I got recently, how I keep my, well, like basically how I keep my confidence up is what I read into it. Funny thing is, I do not always have confidence, says the guy who makes YouTube videos wearing sunglasses because he's afraid of the camera and looking like a complete douchebag. There, there are days where I question my work. Totally. I doubt my decisions. I wonder if I'm even worth a crap or good enough. My poor friends, the really close ones, have to deal with me sending text messages to them being like, is this good? Like, I don't even know why I'm allowed in this gallery. Like, they have to deal with that stuff for me. And it happens. I'm not this walking embodiment of confidence that people seem to think that I am. I think a lot of people assume confidence is something successful creatives have all the time. Well, guess what? I'm not a successful creative yet, number one. And number two, that's totally not true. The reality is that confidence comes and goes, but the work still needs to happen. So, Ninja, this video is for you, but I think it would apply to a lot of artists out there, me included. I think one of the biggest lies people believe is that confidence comes before action. Like, that is step one, and then action is step two. We tell ourselves we'll start once we feel ready, once we feel capable, once we feel certain. The problem is those feelings don't often arrive when we want them to, right? I mean, if you wait for confidence before taking action, you'll end up waiting your entire life because these things like confidence, motivation, inspiration, these things are fleeting, very fleeting. I don't feel like painting every day. Even the best painters don't feel like painting every day, but you still show up. A lot of dreams, I think, wither and die in the eternal waiting room of confidence. And Ninja, not only did your comment spawn a video, but it spawned a painting that you directly inspired. Let me show it to you. Along with the description of the painting, I think it's less of a painting and more of a warning. More of a, that's the best way to put it, more of a heed my warning kind of thing. Let me show you. I just finished this. This is my latest painting that I got done. And Ninja, your comment kind of inspired this. And you might know kind of where I'm getting at with this, but I'll read you the description. How many masterpieces never existed because someone waited? Waited for inspiration. waited for confidence, waited for the right idea, waited until they felt ready. The old man stands before a blank canvas, carrying the weight of time and uncertainty. The painting isn't about lack of talent, it's about hesitation, about the dangerous belief that motivation must arrive before action. Inspiration is fleeting. Confidence comes and goes. Time does not. The canvas remains empty, not because nothing could be painted, but because nothing was started. A warning, perhaps, to every creator who keeps saying, I'll begin when I know. Original in prints available at asylum817.com. Had to do a plug there. But yeah, this is the newest one I got done. A painting that Ninja directly inspired. And what that captures is totally true, because I see a lot of artists that are going to be that old. I'm looking up here because I actually have the painting up here, that are going to be that old man someday, guaranteed. Don't let confidence rob you of your masterpiece that's inside you. Don't die never showing that potential masterpiece to the world. And everybody is just running around through life trying to figure out all this crap anyway. Who's going to judge you? And even if the people, even if you are judged by people or laughed at or scoffed at, whatever, look at what most of these people accomplished. Either their work sucks or they've accomplished nothing, like 99% of the time. And the other 1% who are actually awesome artists and can back it up, and they make fun of you, or someone you respect makes fun of you, it's their problem, not yours. Treating other people like that, it's their problem. Almost nobody begins a creative journey feeling completely sure of themselves. I promise. Writers doubt their writing, I know, because I've written 40 novels. Musicians doubt their music, I know, because I've made 6 albums and I release singles all the time. Artists doubt their art. It happens. That's just how it goes. We're not these giant balls of unbreakable confidence. The beginning of any meaningful pursuit feels really uncomfortable. And if you want to make any kind of lasting art at all, that's what actually needs to happen. You're stepping into something unfamiliar, and uncertainty is part of that process. If you want to make art that is going to last any amount of time, the confidence isn't usually the starting point. Confidence is something that's built way later. So don't think of confidence as, I need to have that first before I start working, or I'm holding myself back because I don't have that confidence yet. Well, you're going to be waiting the rest of your life, because confidence is something that appears after you start working. When I started painting at 38, confidence wasn't exactly overflowing, okay? I thought I was starting too late. I had no idea how the art world worked. I compared myself to artists with decades of experience and immediately felt behind. And, there were plenty of reasons to hesitate. I had all the reasons in the world to hesitate, maybe even some justifiable ones, if I wanted to listen to them. Because I've been hearing those voices from other people my entire life. And I wasn't about to do it to myself. And thankfully, I started before confidence had a chance to even show up. Because confidence, in my opinion, when you're starting your artistic journey, it needs to be raw. It has to be uncomfortable. It has to be wounded, open. And if you have confidence right at the start, I don't think that's confidence, really. I think that's ego, which is a problem. It has to start off raw, or else it ain't honest. Because, what I've learned is that confidence grows from evidence. That's where it comes from. If it doesn't grow without evidence, it's from ego, and you want to avoid that person. You create evidence by doing work repeatedly. Every painting finished, every challenge overcome, every happy accident you figure out how to solve. And like I said before, 80% of painting well is just figuring out how to bounce back from major problems. That's it. That's 80% of painting. The rest you can teach yourself. I have no formal art training whatsoever. I mean, every problem solved becomes proof that you're capable. The proof slowly changes how you see yourself. It's step 2, not step 1. I mean, the confidence you're waiting for is often hidden inside the actions you're avoiding. I'm trying to help all of you see that, even myself to a degree, you know. And let me really listen to what I say. The confidence that you're waiting for is often hidden inside the actions that you're avoiding. Even people who appear confident have moments of doubt, trust me. And now I've worked with some amazing musicians who have ever blessed indie music. I work in I volunteer in a gallery. I display my stuff in a gallery in one of the most art conscious towns in the entire U.S. I'm surrounded by crazy talented people. Are there people there with massive egos? A couple, yeah, but that's that's more fleeting than anything, and it stains the art. Ego stains the art. I mean, some days it confidence is not something you achieve once and keep forever, by the way. Some days it feels strong and other days it completely disappears. So if you need to really learn to train yourself how to work without it. And I know I don't practice what I preach, but I need to learn to train myself to speak into a camera without wearing sunglasses and hiding behind them. Not trying to look cool or whatever, just trying to kind of hide behind them. That's why I'm taking them off for this video, because of what I said. Some days it feels strong, some days it's gone. If your ability to work depends on you feeling confident, yeah, you're not going to get any work done. You just won't. You need a system that works, even when confidence doesn't. Confidence it will break down. It's an old jalopy. When it works, it's great. Most of the time, it doesn't. The danger of making confidence a requirement is a big danger, kids. Big one. I mean, a lot of people accidentally make confidence a prerequisite for action, like we said, right? They tell themselves they'll start the YouTube channel when they feel confident, or have a dark enough pair of sunglasses, or have a nicer or when they feel, that they can do it. They got to psych themselves up for it. While you're psyching yourself up for it, there's somebody that's going to have the same idea as you, and they're going to kill it in your own niche. They submit their work when they'll feel confident. They'll apply for opportunities when they feel confident. What they're really doing is giving fear a more respectable name. That's all. There is a difference between courage and confidence. Big difference. They both start with a C, yeah. But people confuse the two, I think, a lot, especially artists. Visual artists do it the worst. They confuse courage with confidence. Those are two different things. Confidence says, I think I can do this. Courage says, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Most creative breakthroughs happen because of courage, not confidence. See, when you made your comment, you were almost right. I mean, just about there, hitting the nail on the head, but you used the wrong C word, my friend. Courage, not it's confidence. It's courage. Confidence arrives later and kind of takes credit for what courage started. But courage is what starts everything. Just remember that. Confidence says, yeah, I think I can do this. Courage says, I don't know if I can, but I'm totally doing it. That's courage. What happens when you keep going? I mean, something interesting really happens when you continue despite uncertainty. Some really crazy stuff happens. The things that once scared the hell out of you start becoming normal. Which, again, not practicing what I preach. Maybe I should do more videos without the sunglasses. What felt impossible slowly becomes familiar. Oh, ain't that the truth? I thought at one point writing a novel over 600 pages was impossible. I thought at one point that being able to paint people realistically, was impossible. I thought that nailing human anatomy was impossible. I thought all kinds of stuff. Getting the lighting that I have in my head, there's no way I'm going to figure that out. And then the more you do it, the more you learn how to fix happy accidents, the more you teach yourself, and the more you learn from other painters, especially. It becomes what you thought was impossible becomes familiar, and the impossible keeps moving forward and forward. Now I have things that I'm thinking, oh man. Well, I don't. I used to think, oh, I'll never be able to do this. No way. But now, because of how I've grown, and what I've been able to do, now I say, I really suck at this right now. This particular thing, about painting, or music, or whatever, or writing. But I'll get it eventually. That is confidence, and that only came with screwing up so much at the beginning, putting myself out there, feeling vulnerable. Because you start realizing that you can survive mistakes. You could survive rejection. You can survive criticism. The realization is, I think, one of the foundations of genuine confidence. The fearless artist is a myth. It's a myth. I don't think the strongest artists are fearless. Far from it. I think the strongest artists are self-conscious, hyper aware of where they are in the world and how they don't fit. When people ask me, because I write horror novels, like horror and thriller novels, and they say, why do you only write scary stuff? I get that a lot for some reason. I like to quote Stephen King. I will not take ownership of this quote, but Stephen King said it the best. I write scary things because I'm afraid of a lot of things. And how can I scare anybody else if I'm not truly afraid of something at the core of what I'm writing? He said horror writers write that kind of stuff because they are afraid of a lot of things. And I think that's true. It's a way of, I don't know, taking control of the darkness, or if you create your own darkness, you are the soul, you're the god of it. You could do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Maybe it has something to do with that. But yeah, artists are not confident by nature. They're just not. And I promise you, because I've seen it. I have seen it. The ego of a painter or an artist or a visual artist or someone who draws will never be as bad as the ego of a freaking guitar player. And I've seen the guitar players with the biggest egos in their little room when they don't think anybody's watching. And ego only comes from one place, always feeling about this big for whatever reason. So when you're out in public, you got to inflate yourself. Somebody who has a big ego is just Baymax. That's it, man. They're just Baymax. There's this big, huge thing, but if you strip off the big, huge thing, it's a skinny little skeleton inside of it. That's what ego is. The strongest artists are not fearless. They're simply willing to create while they're afraid. Fear, self-doubt are not signs you're doing something wrong. I mean, they're often signs that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. Growth usually feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. After all this crazy stuff that I've learned, what do I tell people now? If you're waiting to feel ready, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. Get comfortable. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And when you're an artist, you hear a lot of BS from people who mean well, but you don't need that. You need harsh truth. If you're waiting to feel completely confident, that day will not happen. Because you never feel totally confident. You might feel like that for a day, but a body of work is not built that way. The people making progress aren't confident. They're not necessarily more confident than you. They just learned how to move before confidence arrives. That's a skill anybody can develop. Seriously. I still have days where I doubt myself, right? At the end of this, that's what I'll tell you. Even now, I have days where I doubt myself. I still have moments where confidence is nowhere to be found. That painting that I showed you, I almost, you know what? Why don't we just pull this off the wall? Because I keep looking at it. All right, see this one right here? I know it's in black and white. It's so hard to see. Okay. Oh, there it is. I did. I almost quit this freaking painting so many times because the ugly face just lasted forever. I hated the background. And then I finally got you just keep working and keep working and keep fixing things and keep fixing things. It's paint, you know. You can layer stuff on top of it. I always seem to forget that for some reason. Can you even hear me over here? Okay. I forgot to put the mic back in front of my face. That's going to sound good. But I always forget that for some reason. That this is paint. You know, you can paint over stuff. If it's an album, you could do another take. Yeah, I always, I don't know why I have that mental block. I always seem to forget that. Because I hated the background. It was so muddy. The ugly phase lasted forever. The blank canvas I didn't like for the longest time. You know, the blank canvas on it. But that's what this painting means, is that this guy here probably wanted to start painting when he was young, but waiting for that confidence, that motivation, and look at him now. And I know a lot of artists are going to go out exactly like this. I mean, here's the difference. I no longer see those feelings as a stop sign. Confidence is really nice and warm and fuzzy when it shows up, but it's not required. Okay, it's not. Sometimes the most important step is simply moving forward before you feel ready. Hopefully that gave you some things to chew on. I really hope it did. That it gave you some confidence, or we should say courage, to get off the ground, to start doing your thing, and do not stop. It's the work that builds the confidence, not the other way around. It's a common myth, and I thought today we should bust it. Thank you, Ninja, for giving me the idea for this YouTube video as well as an entire painting. It's kind of crazy. You never know if some offhand comment that you make or some 2 seconds that you typed on the internet is going to spawn a huge project for somebody. But it kind of told me like how important the things I say are, even in fleeting moments or times when I'm busy or I just got like 2 seconds to talk to somebody. I was like, wow, this offhand thing that this guy said and probably just forgot about spawned a whole big ass project and a YouTube video that'll be up forever, that will last forever. This painting will live longer than me. It kind of makes me think like I shouldn't waste words. You know what I mean? Because even a comment that short could be life-changing. Even a throwaway comment like that just depends on how someone perceives it. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. Make sure to look at the description. My website's on there, asylum817.com. That's asylum817.com to check out my art. That painting right there is currently for sale, the prints and original. So yeah, if you want it, you can have it. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you later. Autofocus. There you go. Perfect.